Page 313 in Likuti Sichas Daled. Here we are straight from Yeshiva Ohr Tmimim, a Sicha of the Rebbe, on page 313. Massei ben Israel. What? Sure. Now, on the end of this week's Torah portion, it talks about what they call Ari Miklat, cities of refuge. These don't exist anymore, especially because there's no death penalty anymore. But it used to be that if a Jew killed another Jew through negligence, not on purpose, but through negligence, as the family of the murdered person, the family of the victim, could take revenge on the murderer. What are you looking for?
My thing. I always use it. My cigarette. I always use it for the laws.
Maybe in there, see? In the book. Look in the book. There we go. And
what's the blood avenger?
So that's what I'm saying. If someone killed someone else through negligence, as you look in it's in the Mishnayos in Makos, it says about this. That the family of the murdered person has a right to kill the murderer. How exactly they know?
This is before the trial.
Right. Okay, how they know exactly if it was really killed through negligence, or it says if the person is coming down and then he had to down the ladder, or if there's a lot of talks about exactly what is called negligence and what's called accident. And the Rambam brings that there's three levels. There's things that are pure accidents, and there's things that are caused on purpose, and then there are things which are through negligence. And if the murder is through negligence, then the murderer has to run as fast as he can to a city of refuge. And if he gets to the city of refuge in time, then the family of the deceased can't hurt him. But if he doesn't get there in time, then they can kill him. Strange law. The laws of the cities of refuge.
Oh, like if someone accidentally kills
If someone
accidentally kills
someone else. It has to be that he accidentally killed, but it's through negligence, his own negligence. He didn't do it on purpose. Then he can run to one of these cities, and there's a lot of details in the laws. How long he has to stay there until the Kohen Gadol dies, what if he kills the Kohen Gadol, etc.
what if he kills the Kohen Gadol?
It says he stays there until the Kohen Gadol passes away.
I've never heard I know that, but I've never heard like if they killed.
There's all sorts of possibilities that are dealt with. Okay, it's not that important now. All we have to know for as our conversation is that there is such a thing. So let's go. The chinuch. What? What? About the cities of refuge. Okay, we'll talk about it. Yes, why not? Good. Good idea. HaChinuch mevi b'hakdamaso. The chinuch, the Sefer HaChinuch, it brings in the preface to the book, the book of the Sefer HaChinuch is a book which lists all the commandments, and it gives psychological reasons for the commandments, psychological benefits that you get from the commandment, and what the commandment does for you. Of course, he tells you that this is not the essential reason we're doing this, because God told us, but nevertheless, every commandment also affects us in a lot of different ways. And by the way, the book, the Chinuch, of the ultimate commandment was the Holy Temple. Because his principle that he goes is according to the actions, that's how people are affected. So the Holy Temple was the ultimate commandment. You went inside, you were inside of a commandment. And everything you saw and everything you heard and everything you smelled, everything you felt, everything was exactly the way God wanted it to be. Okay, let's go on. The Chinuch, nevertheless, in the beginning of this book, he brings 6 constant commandments, she'enu taluya b'makam zman. 6 constant commandments. Okay, try to be with me, Yonah. 6 commandments. Why not 8? Why not 10 commandments? He found 6 commandments. Of all the 613 commandments, there are 6 commandments that are constant for every Jew all the time, in the time of the Beis Hamikdash, not in time, day and night, all the time. What? No, that's a whole different thing than the no-idol laws. These are 6 commandments only for the Jewish people. Some people say they apply also to the non-Jews. What are the 6 commandments? What? No. Constant commandments. You can only keep Shabbos on Shabbos. On the not Shabbos. There are 6 commandments that are constant, that must be done all of the time by every single Jew, no matter where you are, no matter when you are. What are the 6 commandments? To love God, to fear God, to believe in God, not to believe in anything else, not to put your faith in anything else.
Idolatry.
That's believing in God, and not to believe in anything else, right? Not to believe in anything else. But here he's talking about,
Coming Mashiach will be the 6th.
I'll say it, and then you can see if it's one of the 6. To love God, to fear God, to believe in God, not to believe in anything else, not to go after your eyes and your heart, and to unify God. What does it mean, unify God? That everything you do in the world, everything you see, everything you say, every experience you have, you say to yourself that this is a creation of God. This exists only in order to serve God. That's what you said. That means unifying. Everything is part of this whole. Of course, which means you have to include a lot of things which are not so nice. What is this here for? What am I supposed to do? A lot of things God created so that you won't do them. You won't go after your eyes and your heart. You won't. Okay. Where did he get this idea of 6? Because it says, there's a pasuk in the Torah. It says, Sheish are miklat tiyena lachem. 6 cities of refuge should be to you.
So what are the 6 cities of refuge?
Number 6.
Or just the number 6?
Right. And these are 6 cities of refuge. Why the 6 cities of refuge? Because a Jew in these 6 commandments takes refuge against the evil impulse, selfishness.
Wasn't Beit Shemesh one of the cities of refuge?
No. Azar, but maybe it translated it later. Could be. Maybe that translates into one of the cities later. Hebron, it says, is one. What are the 6 commandments? Here it goes. Ready? It says, Sheish harim miklat asu lachem. There should be 3 also on the other side of the Jordan River, which those are will come when the Mashiach comes. So let's see it goes. Where does it go? What are the 6 cities of refuge? Which is really not relevant to this Sikha of the Rebbe. Maybe it doesn't say what they are. No, I don't think it says it here. Okay, let's see. No, Kofar, no Tachanufu. No, it doesn't list them here. Doesn't list them. It lists them elsewhere. Okay. In any case, these 6 commandments are 6 cities of refuge. Why the refuge? Because you take refuge in them away from the confusion and evil inside of ourselves and inside of the world. Loving God, fearing God, believing in God, don't believe in anything else, don't go after your eyes and your heart, and to unify God. Or at first glance, this is what the book, the Chinuch, says. These are the 6 commandments. And what is the sign? How can you remember it? Like there's a pasuk that says 6 eri miklat you should choose your lechem. What does he have to make a sign for? I mean, we're talking about intelligent people. Say there's 6. You have to make a sign to say that it's 6 cities of refuge. And these don't really have that much on face value to do with the cities of refuge. Right? Loving God, fearing God. I mean, I just sort of gave an idea, but it's not an essential. Why does he say, if you want to remember the number 6, why does he say we can remember? Because it says 6 ari miklat. Shehu inyan shel maka nefesh b'shigaga. This is talking about when someone kills someone else through negligence. Pronios. This is an idea of retribution. You run to the city in order to get saved from the vengeance. Hari mispar sheish, you want to say because it's the number 6. Well, there's a lot of things that are number 6. Bekama pasukim, especially in Shisha Mishmosam 11 Achaz, there's one that says 6 of the names of the tribes are written on one stone, and 6 on the other. That's a nice thing. 6 tribes. 6 days of the week. Shenyanimu liot lezikaron uluratzon lifnei Hashem. But even better, these stones. It says there were the breastplates. Even each one of the stones on the breastplate, there were 12. Each one had a different name. But on these 2 stones that were here, there was one here. Each one had 6 names. Oh, this is really nice. It says these 2 stones were to bring forgiveness for the Jewish people. There's a nice thing. Why you want to remember the number 6? Remember from that pasuk that talks about 6 of the names should be on one stone. This is one of the vessels, one of the garments that was worn in the temple. In your Tamidi, something that's constant, making a dwelling place for God in the world. So if you want to remember these 6 constant commandments that the Chinuch writes, why use, what is it, a mnemonic? How do you call it? What? Mnemonic? They don't print them. Anyway, why use a remembering trick from something that's bad? 6 cities of refuge. Use the 6, or like you say, 6 days of creation. Since these commandments are constant, they don't depend on time or place. You have to do them in all times and all places to love God and fear God, etc. Hari behechrach, it's necessary she'em tikun al pagam kazeh shebakol man calls man and bakol makom. If there are 6 commandments that God gave us, and they're constant, all makom, everywhere, it must be that somehow or other we need them, all the time, and every place. It comes to protect us from something, or it comes to. What does it come to protect us from? The poison, the itus is the advice of the snake. You remember the story from the beginning of creation, right? So the snake goes over there and gives Chava, Eve, worst advice in the history of the world. Terrible advice. Right? Says this apple is really good. God doesn't want you to eat it because you're going to be like God. He's jealous. Eat the apple. You're not going to die. It's going to be okay.
Now my question: why would Hashem allow animals to first of all speak, and why would He want that?
They used to speak. Why? Ask a better question. Why does Hashem give us an evil impulse? Why does Hashem give us don't give us an evil impulse, and then you don't have to have the commandments. Don't kill. Don't steal. Why do people want to kill and steal? That's the way God made the world.
Don't give free choice.
That's right. So then God has the angels for that. He's got angels and animals. He doesn't have to have people. The whole story of the Bible is that God made this unique creation called man, and He put inside of man this unique creation, which is called free will. And God keeps creating it all the time. That's human being. Like it says, Dalid shemeto be'itio shel nachash. There are 4 people that died only because of the advice of the snake. In other words, they were perfect people. The only reason they died was because after the snake gave advice to Chava, don't bite the nail. After Chava gave the advice to Chava, everybody dies after that. Everybody dies. If Chava would not have eaten from this tree, then no one would die. Not only would no one die, but no one would get bored.
Everyone would actually know.
All the Torah stories would never have happened.
True.
Horror stories would never have happened. History would be.
But it would be wonderful. It would be wonderful. People wouldn't kill each other. They wouldn't torture each other. They wouldn't lie to each other. They wouldn't trick each other. There wouldn't be hatred in the world. That's the way the world is going to be. It says that's the world the Mashiach is going to bring.
Not supposed to be.
Right? Huh?
Not supposed to be.
That's how the world is supposed to be. Sure, the world can do really well without addictions. If nobody was addicted in the world, nobody would miss it. The world would be a very, very nice place without any addictions, without aggression, violence. Right? The world could get along without violence, without depression. If no one ever got depressed, no one would say, "Wow, do I miss being depressed? This is so awful." Right?
Saddening.
I feel sad.
What a terrible life. I'm happy all the time.
My therapist.
It's disgusting, right?
Take Prozac.
Right.
Well, I can't.
Just all this smiling, all the this. I just want
Actually,
to.
no, if you're complaining about not being depressed and not being sad,
Right.
then there's something to be sad about. Think about it that way. If you're-
That's what I say.
if
Nobody
you're
says
if
it.
you're complaining about
No one would say it. That's my point. No one would ever say that. No one would miss being depressed. If you missed it, that would also be sick.
you would be depressed about
The world would be a wonderful place if there was no cheating and no lying. No one would miss it. No one would miss it. Says the Rebbe, so it must be that now these commandments are constant commandments, it must be that somehow or other they're also there to protect us from something. And what are they to protect us from? The advice of the serpent. As soon as the serpent gave this advice to Chava, and she took the advice, so that brought death into the world. Okay, Herschel. This is the idea of the advice of the snake. Al kulam nigzora gezera da afar ata ve'elafar tashuv. That everyone, as soon as she ate it, God said, okay, you come from God, so you'll be eternal, but you also come from the dirt, and so everyone's going to go back to the dirt. V'lochen kodem techias amazing, before the raising of the dead, everyone is going to die. Huh?
So what the world's going to just kind of explode.
Even for the Rebbe said, just to give it for a moment. No, not explode. Be'emes hine, even though people will try, but be'emes hine kamo shebefshariyut la'asot chet, just like it is possible to do sins. For instance, the sin of the tree of knowledge, that by means of this there is the possibility of all sins. Aval yesh mala, there is something good about doing sins. What is good about doing sins? Bechira, choice. You have the power of choice.
That's not always a good thing.
Bichdei shelo ye'eh nama dechsufa, so that it should not be what's called bread of shame. What does it mean, bread of shame? Let's say someone gave you the chance. They said to you, listen, Yonah, we're going to give you, you won your name has been picked from 7 million. What do you mean? I didn't put my name in it, but you have been picked. You win a free lifetime pass to Golden Farms Old Folks Home. What? What is that? You have no idea. This is the ultimate pleasure you can possibly have. What do?
What?
That's exactly the point. You don't do anything. Everything is done for you. You just sit there and open your mouth. They ask you, what would you like to eat? Right? They even move your chop if you want.
Sounds pretty good.
If you want. You can have, in fact, your food.
This is the dream.
You can have your food intravenous, and we put modes into your brain. Any taste you want, you get. We can program your brain.
I'm not human anymore. What am I?
We can.
I wouldn't be human.
We can program your brain so that every single moment you win the election of President of the United States, and from that you step down and you become the heavyweight champion of the world, and from that you step down
What's next?
and you win the Nobel Prize for everything, all the Nobel Prizes you win. But it's all going to be in your mind, but you'll get the same pleasure as a regular person does. It'll be programmed into your mind that you'll get pleasure from doing these. What do you say? Good deal?
Try it for a month.
Gonna try it for a month.
All right. Once you try, you won't want to
60-day
stop.
trial.
Once you try, you're not going to want to stop. You won't going to stop.
30-day trial guarantee.
What's it going to be? Says the Rebbe, free choice. That's the essence of a human being.
But that's not free. That's not free choice.
So that's right. So being in this old folks' home,
But it's free choice to go there. But it's not free choice. To
once you're there, you're finished. That's it. And the thing,
you have free choice to go,
that's right. Yes.
but you also have free choice to take away that free choice.
Yeah. You can go away if you want to. You can leave if you want to, but no one will leave.
You are.
No one. There was a book written. There was a book I remember. I learned a long time ago. There was a book written, Magic Mountain. You ever read Magic Mountain? You ever read this? Herschel. Magic Mountain by was it Thomas Mann? Famous book, huh? Anyway, the book is that he explains that he has the tuberculosis or something, and they put him in a sanatorium, and he explains in great detail. I think it was written in German, but I read it in English, in very, very great detail about how good it is over there, and how the air is fresh, and how the food, they have like 8 meals a day, the best food, and everything that happens there. I forgot 99% of it, whatever it was, but anyway, it was very good reading, really wonderful. And finally, in the end, he says, this is ridiculous. He doesn't want it, and he goes and he joins the army, and he's trampling through the mud, and people are shooting at him, and he tramples on somebody's hand or something like that. Whatever. Then he wants to have a free will. He wants to be in a situation where he has to make choices, and he's in danger. In other words, what is really reality? Says the Rebbe, to have free choice. In order to have free choice, there has to be bad. There has to be bad. Kamaim result is this. So that's the idea of the advice of the snake. But there is that you can choose, and then what you get will not be for free. It'll be earned. That by means of death, then you can feel how precious life is. Just like the preciousness of light that comes from darkness. Like the Baal Shem Tov said, Kain b'kodesh chaziticha. It should only be, the song that we sing in Chabad, the Rebbe sings, Tzama lecha nafshi, kama lecha besori, be'eretz tzia ve'oiv bili mayim. Kain b'kodesh chaziticha, lirois uscha chavoidecha.